we make noise or do we need to be quiet? I feel like we can make noise, but I didn't know if we needed to wait until like the music was done, 2 minutes.
He never tells me. Yeah, we got this.
I see Ed. I see Miles. I see me. We're live. Hi there.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. This
Hello.
is, yeah. Let me turn down the music just a little bit. Welcome to the Unfiltered podcast. This is season 1, episode 7. This is Sunday, September 14th, 2025. It is I, Tyler Anderson. You may know me on the internet as Tyler Liger. I am here with Ed, who's on the far left-hand side if you're looking at the screen. And we have a special guest with us today. It is Miles Journey. He is on the...
Oh.
Yeah, well, welcome to the show. It's great to have you here, man. Let's just like have you introduce yourself in your own words. So you have the floor.
A Miles Journey. I've been training in professional wrestling for about a year. I've known Ed for a really long time. I met him at Recycled Entertainment like way back when, long time ago. So yeah, I'm excited to be here. Thank y'all for having me on. This was like the highlight of my week. Not gonna lie, I was just looking forward to this.
That's awesome,
Cool.
man.
Glad to have you.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. You're kind of a year and a month in. So
Yes.
what inspired you to be like, okay, all right, I'm gonna do this. Like, I am going to become Miles Journey. I'm gonna start my path. I'm going to I have a nice long road ahead of me. I mean, hopefully it's a long, nice road. Definitely no head droppies and but so tell us like what inspired you to get going and tell us how you got started.
So, as crazy as it sounds, it's like the one thing in my life, like I've always just wanted to do, even from like a very young age. Like I've always wanted to be a professional wrestler.
Cool.
Then about a year ago, it just kind of worked out. Me and a friend that was also real into wrestling, we were working together. We went to a show together. We were talking about training. And I went to class that Tuesday after the show. And yeah, I just loved it. It was just very fulfilling for me.
Very nice.
Just to do the pro wrestler thing. And makes me happy. It makes me super happy to just do it, even at this level. I'm living a dream, y'all. That's really what I'm doing. I'm just living a dream.
Right on.
Hey, it's not everywhere where you can work 10 minutes and get at least, $20-$30, right? Hey, I mean, I was there. So, okay. So I'll fill you in on like how I got to know Rick LC and kind of the Amarillo independent wrestling scene. So I was once in your shoes. Once in your shoes, probably about 2009, 2010 is when I really got into it. I found Rex Reed. So if you're aware of Rex Reed, he was on
Zombie Killer.
Yeah, the Zombie Killer. He was before he got hurt, he was like in Dragon Gate USA, and he was all over the place in the Southwest. And I reached out to him not too long ago about being on the show. He's interested. So, but yeah, like I got into that. I trained for a few months. He was like, I don't want you to get in the best shape of your life. I just want you to learn how to wrestle. So like I got in with like Josh Jackson, the Josh Jackson. I don't know if he's still doing it anymore. He was around for a few years, and then there was a big guy called Johnny, and I just remember Johnny. I remember Josh really well too, but I remember I was there for, and then like at the time like I was managing, so like I was doing like the whole League of Liger, and that's where I brought in guys from like there was one guy out of like Roswell. He was a character. He had like blue hair. His name was Jackson King, and then there was Torek Hayes, who came down all the way from like North Dakota to come wrestle in Amarillo. So like we teamed, and then afterwards I brought in my friends. Like I brought in like Duke Cornell, the late Jason Strife, Sean Nautilus, and and Bo Gott. Well, at the time he was Brian Gott, but Bo Gott. So like all those Iowa guys, they would come down, and we would work together on a few shows. And then, well, I mean, I got politicked out, but that allowed me to just be like, okay, well, I'll just go to college, and that's where I stumbled into ed and went into journalism and everything. So that's just that's my time in pro wrestling in a nutshell. And then I have like other like little splurts, including like right now where I do play-by-play for Squirt Circle Pro. And speaking of Squirt Circle Pro, Birthiversary is coming up next Saturday.
Huge show, huge event.
It's huge. I mean, it's the big anniversary show, right? My gosh,
14 years.
14 years. That's a long time for an independent promotion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So like, really, really great card, but we'll go over that here later on. But so so far into your like wrestling career, let me ask you this, Miles. What has been some of your favorite matches so far?
Oh man, nobody got a video of it, but I wrestled Jesse the Kid, at the Rockwell Event Center a few months ago.
Okay.
April, May. Either way, that was a good time. That was like my first like real singles match, so that was good. I enjoyed the Fatal 4-Way at the last SCP event I was on.
Cool.
That was a great time. I learned a lot. That whole day, it was just enlightening. I learned a lot there. Then I wrestled in Athens, Texas. Athens? Either way. Same thing. Made of tomato, right? I was in a tag team, first tag match.
Okay.
It was a fun time. I drove 14 hours that day. It was worth it.
Wow.
14 hours. Yeah, that's definitely a suicide run. That's for sure.
For the love of the game, y'all. For the love of the game.
Yep.
Nation at its finest.
Okay, so like you talk about, like that 14-hour day. I mean, part of the thing is going on the road, and sometimes it's not about the places you wrestle at, because you're only wrestling for maybe 15, 20 minutes tops. I'm just, that's just commonplace. But like, I mean, you got to have some good road stories while you're
the journey
itself.
I have good road stories.
Do you want me to buy you some time? Because I have some road stories.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right. I'll buy you some time. So, okay. All right. Like for when, like, oh gosh, the first time Rex and I went to Dragon Gate, like, I went as like a fan. Like I actually just, I had like a second row seat. Like, it was at the ECW arena. Now it's, the 2800 arena now. It's got so many names over the years. I think when I was there, it was like the new Alhambra Arena or something. I don't know. It's basically what it is. It's a bingo hall, but it's so well known. But and then we took Violent V there. Violent V there was with us, and I know you're shaking your head about Violent V, but
No, he's great.
Yeah, he's great. He's just a character, but no, I remember he spent like he made egg sandwiches, and I remember that car stinking the whole way there, just because of all the egg sandwiches we all ate, and because he packed a cooler, and then we made stops and made like we started off like I think at like 6 at night, and we went. And then we made it all the way to, let's see, we made it all the way to St. Louis. We stopped at the Gateway Arch. We stopped at the Budweiser brewery, the Anheuser-Busch brewery. Took a tour there. Got to see. Well, I think the Clydesdales were out that week, but we were there. And then our next stop was we went to Louisville. We wanted to go see a Ring of Honor show while we were there. Problem was we couldn't find the Danny Davis Arena. We didn't know where the heck it was, so we were driving around and trying to find this place. And then by the time we were like we gave up, it was like maybe like because the show probably started about 6, and then we got there we gave up by about 8, and I was like, okay, well, we probably need to keep going. So we go to Gettysburg. Because they want to go to Gettysburg. So we stop in Gettysburg. And then we had to go pick up Chad Thomas from the airport in Philadelphia. So we hung out in Gettysburg. Then we went over to Philadelphia because it was only a 2-hour drive. We get over there, and Chad is getting off the plane. The guys go into the airport, and you can't park like in that little terminal area where everybody comes out. So I'm just driving around the airport. I'm just making the loops around the Philadelphia airport like for about an hour. So I didn't get like caught or ticketed or whatever. And then we finally got Chad. We got set up in the hotel room, and then he's like, "Hey guys, do you think we can go to New York? It's only 2 hours away." And it's like, okay, we only got 2 more hours. Okay, why not? I mean, we're already tired as it is. Like, we just wanted to like eat something and then just like and then chill, but like no, the guys were ambitious. Like I was like, man, I just want to like just chill. We just got done driving like 24 hours and just having us like switch like from me to Rex, and V didn't drive, which I don't know why, but I mean, I wouldn't trust V behind a wheel anyways.
I wouldn't either.
No, I wouldn't trust him behind the wheel. Yeah, we went to New York, and I remember it cost $30 to park, which was a lot. And then the New Yorkers, like, we were like, "Hey, can you show us the way to can you point us the way to Times Square?" And the New Yorkers are giving us directions, and we don't know where anything's at. We eventually stumble onto like Times Square. We go around, we check out all the sites and everything. We don't go anywhere. We just walk around the place. And then there's this lady that's like, she has like a I Love New York shirt, like the I Heart New York shirt. She has it like kind of knotted up. She has her clothes in a cooler, so she's dragging around this cooler. And Chad and all them, they're basically like catcalling, like they're catcalling her like until like 2 a.m. And then they go to the NYPD, and they're like, "Hey man, like, what are you gonna do about this girl? Like, what about this chick? She's crazy." And they're like, "She ain't hurting nobody. Leave her alone." Like, so like, we were driving around, and we
did they not have MapQuest at this point in time?
Well, we did. We actually had MapQuest at the time, but it was very crude. Like, Google Maps was very crude at that time. And they wanted to go see the Statue of Liberty. And oh my gosh, why are we trying to go see the Statue of Liberty at 2 a.m? Why? Why on earth are we doing that? So I was like, guys, the only way we can do it is we have to go to New Jersey to go see the Statue of Liberty, or we have to go all the way down to Battery Park. And we asked the locals, like, "Hey, where can we go to go see it?" And they're like, "Well, you can go down to Battery Park, but you don't want to be down there at night." So like, we were like, "Okay, all right, that's fine," And then so Chad's driving. He's the one that's doing all the driving. And I think I'm sitting shotgun. And I was trying to break like 100 because I was like, I wanted to get some souvenirs from New York. We find this like one dude, this one shady dude that was like trying to sell mixtapes, and really bad mixtapes at that. Terrible, absolutely atrocious music. And I was like, well, how much is it for the DVD, for the CDs and everything? And he's like, well, it's $10. So I was like, can you break 100? Yeah, of course. He like this son of a bitch, like he takes one of my 20s and gives me $80 back. I mean, I was really mad, but I was like, there's nothing I can do. And then there were a bunch of people that give you these slips to try to get in these strip clubs, like off of Times Square,
like Vegas.
Yeah, like it's like Vegas, and it's like $20 to get in, but they give you these slips so you can get in for like 15. And I'm like, dude, no, like that's stupid. Like, so they drove around New York all night. They were trying to figure out a way to get out of Manhattan, and then we end up in Harlem, like at 4 or 5 in the morning, and we see like this hand come out of this other vehicle in front of us doing like this, and it was basically like a drug deal going down right in front of us. And but we end up escaping New York. Yeah, literally escape from New York at like 5 in the morning, and I pass out. I'm just so tired. And I end up like waking up about 7 o'clock, like right as Chad's driving into downtown Philadelphia.
Snake Plissken would have been proud of you.
Yeah, for surviving New York. I mean, I ended up going back to New York, but that was an experience. The first one was different. It was different to say.
That sounds like professional wrestling, pro wrestling road trip.
It is.
That's great. I want to go on a real crazy pro wrestling road trip like that. Hell yeah.
Well, and along the way, Rex gets on. The cool way that Rex got on to Dragon Gate USA is for the first time, and get this, he teamed up with Tommaso Ciampa.
Nice.
He teamed up with Tommaso, and I remember. Okay, it was like, if you know Cody Jones, and Cody Jones and we get along. I mean, we had a bumpy ride to start off with, but we get along now. But he was chain wrestling Akira Tozawa, because you were doing open tryouts to get on the show, at least the pre-show, and there was they were chain wrestling, and like Rex and Chad look at each other and they're like, let's do big moves. Like, let's just do big moves. Everybody else is chain wrestling. So within 2 minutes, they're all doing like these big moves. Like, and then, Chad's already a big enough guy as it was. So like when Rex did like the whole, when he did the zombie killer, like the Japanese guys were just going nuts. Like they were into Rex, and at the and they're like Gabe Sapolsky's also watching too, because he's the one that makes one of the final calls. And Rex, Gabe was looking at bringing on like this tag team. He was like, let me get this tag team on the show. There was like another guy who looked really good. His name was Scott Reed, of all things. That was the only time I saw of him, and that was the last time I ever saw him. And then there's Tommaso, and then like Gabe wasn't very high on Rex, but it was really cool because Shingo knew Rex, and Shingo was the guy that was really popping hard, along with like Akira Tozawa, like, because they all wrestled with each other down in like San Antonio. Like San Antonio was a hot spot back in the late 2000s, early 2010s. That's where like, Angel Blue, my gosh, that makes me feel really, really that ages me quite a bit. It's where a lot, like Anarchy, like I think it was the Anarchy Championship Wrestling was at. They always had good shows. They had River City Wrestling. But yeah, like San Antonio was a hot spot, and Rex got to know and got to meet like Shingo and Akira Tozawa, And I remember it was the coolest moment, and Rex will tell you it was one of the coolest moments of his life when Sapolsky was like going to like be like, yeah, sorry guys, like can't let you in. And the Japanese guys were like, no, we want Rex, Rex, Rex. And they're all chanting Rex's name. So Rex gets on the show. And he teams up with Tommaso Ciampa against Cheech and Cloudy. Tommaso Ciampa gets knocked out during the match.
Oh no!
He gets knocked out. No. He doesn't like, and then yeah, Cheech and Cloudy. Yeah, that was so weird. It was like it was a senton into the corner, and they got Tommaso's head just right to where it just kind of knocked him senseless. And that's when when you're in wrestling long enough, your body goes into autopilot. Your body goes into autopilot. The lights are on, but nobody's there. And Tommaso didn't come to until like he got in the back, and he was like, "Oh crap, what's going on?" He was freaking out, and Rex is like, "Chill out, like you got like a senton in the corner and knocked you silly." And so like that was Rex's experience, and that was gosh dang, that had Sami Callihan on the card, and he just retired. There was also Jimmy Jacobs. I think before,
I remember Jimmy Jacobs.
Jimmy Jacobs, yeah. Jimmy Jacobs. There was Jimmy Jacobs. He was on that show. That was like, and then Brody Lee. Brody Lee was on there. Rich Swann was on that show. A lot of Japanese guys. A lot of them I don't remember very well. I remember BB Hulk, but it was because like he was facing this one guy for the Dragon Gate USA title. And it wasn't that great, if I remember correctly, but it was because the Philadelphia fans, they have very high standards. They've seen a lot of stuff. It's ECW, and then it's Ring of Honor that it's had shows in there, and there's been many classic matches in that building. I mean, too many to name. And so they're just kind of like sitting on their hands. And I remember, BB Hulk comes out to the outside, and he's looking for hands to slap. And I'm the only one that's like, I get it. I'll stand up, yeah, slap hands with BB Hulk. I think it's on the DVD if we can ever find the DVD somewhere. But yeah, I just remember like the match ended with like kind of a kick to the back of the head, and that was it. Yeah, it wasn't that great. But I think they botched the finish. And then after the show was done, that was in between the period where Bryan Danielson or Daniel Bryan got let go by WWE after choking. I think it was Justin Roberts with the tie.
Yeah.
And then between him coming back at SummerSlam, so Dragon Gate was able to get him on a show, and he worked Shingo for like 40 minutes. And another one. This one's a secondhand story. This is what like Duke Cornell told me about this moment, is like after this 40-minute brutal match, like MMA elbows and Danielson and Shingo are beating the absolute crap out of each other for 40 minutes. Shingo comes to the back and looks at Rex, and at the time Rex wanted to try a new finisher. He wanted to do a thing called Death from Above, which was a top rope senton. And imagine Rex, hitting you with a kind of a flying senton, like, like on the ground. Like imagine him doing it from like, all the way from the top rope.
Rex is pretty big. He's pretty big.
He was a big guy at his time. And I remember like in what Duke told me is Shingo came up to Rex and he was like, "You like Pancake Man? You scary." And like Pancake Man. And Rex is like, "Oh, hey, thanks." Like, so, and then, I mean, there's a whole different part on the way home, like all the Gettysburg stuff, but hopefully that bought you a little time for some road stories.
Oh, man. I don't have anything that good. That was great. That even had, like, people before they got signed. That was wonderful. I love this.
Yeah. 2010 was a weird time.
I ever worked. What were you saying?
I said 2010 was a weird time.
Sure was. My first show was kind of crazy. So I worked a show in Amarillo, or Root Crew, whatever. And then we drove all through the night. We tore the ring down, took it back to the shop, and then we drove from Amarillo all the way to Mountain Air, New Mexico. It was a 6-hour drive. No sleep, no nothing. That was crazy. I don't think I've ever been that tired in my life.
Yeah.
We had like a seminar the next day I participated in. Then the show. That was great. Somebody spilled chocolate milk in my car.
Oh no.
And they didn't clean it up, and I didn't notice it until like the next day, and it was so bad. It was bad.
It was bad.
It wasn't good. It wasn't good. It was like the bottle was still bad. Yeah, it was awful.
Why?
I think he beat your egg story. He beat your eggs, Tyler. He actually beat your eggs.
Oh, the egg salad sandwiches. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Miles wins.
Yeah.
I'll take that one. I mean, it was not so much the egg salad sandwiches; it was the flatulence that came with that. So,
well, yeah,
because V kept on farting in the car, dude.
Man, I wanted to ask you a question real quick, Niles. You've been with SCP for a year, and bonds and friendships. Have you made really good friends with fellow wrestlers, alliances, things like that? Anything we can talk about?
So I've only been with SCP for 4 or 5 months or so. I got my start in Amarillo, but I go to Lubbock now. I train at Pro Wrestling 101. I work that whole circuit, DCW, SPCW, SCP, all that stuff.
Right.
A good friend of mine's Jesse the Kid in Cisco. So I trained with them in Amarillo, and then we're still kind of traveling around, and we still go to the same shows. So that's cool. Who else?
Cisco's a good dude, by the way.
Yeah.
Shout out
Cisco's
Cisco
fun.
Kid.
Yes, absolutely. Love the Cisco Kid. He's a friend of mine. Nolan Phillips, actually. He's a really good teacher. He was out in the Fatal 4-Way with me and Jesse, and raised everybody's hand after the match. And
right. Yeah, I noticed that he was kind of aggressive during the match, but then right at the end, he's sitting there shaking everybody's hands, and he said, telling you guys, "Good job next time, one-on-one." I mean, he seems like a really nice guy.
But yeah, who else? I've known Rick for a very long time. I know he's running the LC administration, and he hasn't always been this way. But I still like Rick. Maybe he'll come back around one day.
I think a lot of people think that about Rick. I think it's just one of those things where there was something or someone. It was the straw that broke the camel's back, and it's like, okay, all right, this is the side of Rick that when the chips are down and he needs to go into survival mode, that's it. Like that's what you get. That you get raw, like Rick down to like his core, like not like the jaded, like weary, like wrestling guy. He just wants to be like, hey, I'm doing this for the better of SCP. The fans may not like it, and I understand the fans' perspective as well, because as a fan, you want to go home happy after every show, and you want to just you want to get as much bang for your buck. But for Rick, he's trying to make things better, and it has to come from within before he can really spread things out. Now, he did make an appearance the other night at another show, and that's just to make his presence known that, man, he's got hands everywhere. Like he knows the scene better than better than people even within the scene. So
yes, absolutely, I agree with you on that.
But yeah, man. Goodness gracious. As far as the inspiration for, Miles' journey can be a whole bunch of different things, right? But like the whole the kind of the wandering nomad hippie thing. What kind of inspired you to get to kind of go in that direction?
So,
mean, is it because of the music? Is it because of the culture? Is it
A little bit of because of the culture, the hippie stoner culture. It's cool, you know. To each their own, I guess. But I vibe with it. But I'll be honest. I wanted to like look like somebody. I didn't want to just go out there and just be like, here's an indie wrestler, you know. But it's like, oh hey, that guy's a hippie, you know. And I have my like protesting sign I bring around.
So what's your message? What is Miles' Journey's message to the people?
Peace, love, and professional wrestling.
Peace, love, professional wrestling. I love it.
yeah, peace, love, pro wrestling. Heck yes, man. Yep. Anywho, I know you have some other hobbies. One of them has to be this will really get into nerd territory with some folks. But we're not. You know, this is
We're of the people.
This is unfiltered. We don't have to abide by the normie standards, but you're big into Pokemon cards.
I love Pokemon.
Okay.
I've loved Pokemon since I was like 7.
Okay.
I'm 25. I turned 25 in 2 weeks.
Okay.
None of that.
It's my favorite thing. It's like my favorite non-wrestling, non-kiddo related thing.
Who's your favorite Pokemon?
It's Piplup. I have Piplup tattooed into my It's kind of hidden. He's on my ankle. You can't see him when I wrestle.
Sure.
But it's Piplup. Absolutely.
Okay.
Cool.
So Ed and I are probably old enough to remember the original 150.
Speak for yourself. No.
So like Pokemon, like at least the card game really got big when I was like in 7th grade, and I was really into it. Like I had the holographics, I had the first editions, you know. I think, man, I have to remember all the holographics I used to have. Like I used to have like a Mewtwo. Do you remember when like the first movie came out? And they released a card. They did like an ancient Mew card that went along with the movie. Like they would give away the card if you went to the movie. And yeah. I remember having the card. There was like another Mew card out there, and I know I'm really getting into old OG Pokemon now. But they used to like have those through like I think like not special giveaways, but it was like I don't remember. It was like might have been like through a promotion. It might have been a promotional item, because I mean, what's the cheapest thing you could make through promotional items? Cards. So yeah. Like, and then I knew a lot of people that had like, you know, the Charizards and everything, but never met anybody that had the first edition Charizard. I knew a lot of people that had like a first edition Machamp. That was like probably the most common first edition I've always seen, is like the first edition Machamps. I remember at one time, like I had all 3 of the legendary birds. I had Hitmonchamp, Hitmonlee, and who else did I have as far as? I
wanted to bring up that on Pawn Stars, I caught an episode where a guy did bring in at least 30 or 40 Charizard cards, all first edition, half of them graded, stuff like that.
Oh my gosh.
And I think, insane. You know, as Rick on that show always tries to do, underbid people, you know, but the dude had a very impressive collection. Yeah, he's like, I'll give you $2,000, and the dude's like, no, I want 10. You know, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But no, it was pretty impressive to see all those. I'm like, damn, you know, that's worth some money.
And
I strive to have a collection like that. Sorry, Tyler.
No. Go ahead. I mean, you're the star of the show. For like, I remember like we had to move out of this one place, and I had to sell those off. Like I put them up to auction. Guess how much they sold for? Just $20 at the time. Ooh. If I would have kept them and I would have held on to those cards as long as I could, I would probably, at least a couple grand. I still kick myself to this day. I was like, oh, well, it's a passing fade. You know, it's, you know, like kind of like Magic the Gathering, you know, like Magic kind of ebbs and flows. People get into it. Then people get out of it, and then they get back into it. It's the same way with you know, D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, or Warhammer. Warhammer's big right now, but Warhammer kind of ebbs and flows as far as popularity. It's always going to be around, but it just ebbs and flows. But you know, go ahead.
That Lord of the Rings card that came out a couple of years ago, the only card, the ring. I can only imagine what that would sell for at auction. You know, if it's the only one in the world, you can name your price. It's just ridiculous.
So the guy that opened it sold it to Post Malone. He got like $2 or $3 million off it. Like he got a few $1 million.
Well, good for him. Yeah.
And so now Post Malone has it. So if it were to go to auction, that'd be insane. That'd be so insane. I'd want to just like watch the auction and see what people are throwing in.
Absolutely.
I can't imagine those auctions.
Yeah, all people who are super rich go there and say, "They go, well, gee, what can I waste my money on today?" And that's what they do. They buy that crap. Nothing wrong with that, though.
Yeah,
if you got the money to spend, why not?
Yeah,
I mean, it'd be cool to have, but I don't know.
Can you imagine trying to insure that damn thing? I mean, everybody's got their house payments, their car insurance. That, yeah, I'm going to insure this $3 million card. To say what? The average Joe would be a little, for them.
Wonder how that would work, because I know people that have insurance on their trading cards. Not me. I'm not one of those people. But it's a real thing. Trading card insurance is a real thing.
Yeah, you go and you take out a separate policy, and just for that, it's almost like taking out car insurance on your cards, that kind of thing.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So, along with Pokemon cards, what else are you into?
I was real into Yu-Gi-Oh! For a long time. That was like the first hobby where it was like, that was like my like favorite thing. Like I'd wake up like out of bed in the morning and like that's all I'd want to do is just play Yu-Gi-Oh! Hang out, kick it with my friends, go to the card shop. That's how I met Ed actually a long time ago.
Weren't we playing Dragon Ball Z at the time? I think that
I
came
met you at Yu-Gi-Oh! But then we messed around with Dragon Ball Z for a little while too.
Right. Our
Dragon Ball got real popular for a minute.
Yeah, there was a young man, I won't say his last name, but I think his name's Kellen, was that it? Nice kid and young man, and he wanted to get a league here started in town, and it just never really took off.
So many card games die in Amarillo like that. Like, they're just not interest. I guess we're not big enough. I don't know.
It's kind of like pick or choose. Yeah. Some people will sit there and go, "Oh, we'll keep playing." I know there's a Yu-Gi-Oh scene here. I know there's Pokemon, Magic, no contest. Everybody's there every Friday night at Friday Night Magic. But some of these smaller card games, we've had them come through town. And it's not Guardian, but it was something about this main card in the deck that was your main fighter. It was
Vanguard.
That's it, Vanguard. Yeah, there was that, and it doesn't seem to be that popular. It's really amazing what hits and doesn't hit, especially in this town, because I've met the people here, a lot of them, and it's really weird. It's what they do.
Yes, it is.
It's almost like stepping off the planet when you come to the city. I don't know.
Yeah, there are some characters in this town. There are characters. Speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh! So, like, my cousin was really into it. Have you ever seen the Abridged series?
Yes, I've seen pieces of it. And it's really funny. It's a good time.
My favorite part is the Purple Realm. Like, if you lose, you get, like in the original show, like the 4-Kid show, you got sent to the Shadow Realm. But in the Abridged version, you get sent to the Purple Realm. So that was an in thing, but I think that's still an in thing between me and one of my cousins. Like, well, all right, if I beat you in this, you get sent to the Purple Realm or whatever. Yeah, it is good. It is really good. Yeah, that was the only thing Yu-Gi-Oh! I really got into, was just like a little bit of the Abridged and then the Purple Realm.
Man, but
I might watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. Okay, I like Dragon Ball Abridged. Dragon Ball Abridged is a good time.
Team 4 Stars like kind of achieved that legendary status by now.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Another really good one along with Team 4 Star, with Dragon Ball Abridged, is probably I'm a Vegeta. And I remember people like when Chris Sabat like would come to Amarillo, because he's based out of Texas, as is like Trisha Nishimura. She's actually from Amarillo. And then there's a few other, because Funimation's main place was Dallas, if I remember correctly. So yeah,
It was at one point. I don't know if they're still there, but I hope they're still there.
yeah, I hope so too.
Texas,
Yeah, because Texas is big enough. And Texas is awesome enough to keep something like that. But Chris at Bat like used to come up. Like he was, I think he was at I think it was a YC3, and I got the whole Majin Vegeta pass. Like I was able to get a picture of him and get autographs and get to talk to him for a minute. And I remember during the Q&A, he was asked about I'm a Vegeta. And I'm a Vegeta. It's like it takes, whatever Vegeta says out of context. And it's a really funny channel, but it hasn't posted in a long time because, I mean, there's only so much of, there's only so much Vegeta taken out of context moments. So, but it's really good. So, I mean, whenever you have some time to burn, yeah, check that out because that's
totally gonna watch it on your recommendation. I had no idea that's a thing.
Yeah.
I met him at a con. I think we had like it was like the Hastings Comic-Con.
Mm-hmm.
Like a few years before they went down. It was like something collector expo. I mean, they're all collector expos.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever it was, and he was signing what was that? The Resurrection F posters.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
That was that's always a fun time. Like I got him to write curses. I didn't even ask him to do that. He just, to Tyler, curses. All right, Chris Sabat, Now people know him as like, All Might, but he's still well known for being like Vegeta and Piccolo and Yamcha. Like it's amazing to think that like so few people were a part of Dragon Ball Z and they voiced multiple characters like, Sean Schimmel, which, I mean, say what you will about Sean. He's actually, I think if I remember correctly, he's from Cedar Rapids. And like it's kind of like a burden to shoulder when you're one of the most iconic anime characters of all time, and you are the English voice actor behind it. So I mean, I understand kind of that burden you hold, but yeah, like I don't know where I was going with that. I kind of lost tabs, but yeah, that was probably like one of the last. Like I mean, like I have kind of a bucket list of people I'd like to meet or at least get the autographs from, especially like if you meet them at cons or whatever. But yeah, that's
I got my one non-wrestling related like autograph here. It's right here on my desk. I keep it on my desk.
okay.
My Sean Scrimmel Goku pop I got signed.
Oh, cool.
There you go.
Me and my brother went to a GCW show in Dallas, and we got hammered. We got so hammered. I had like 13 drinks. It was insane. So we went to the Comic-Con the next day, and I stood in line, hungover for 3.5 hours to get that signed on my pop.
Oh, that's rough.
That's it. That's my one voice actor. I will never do that again for like another voice actor. That was like the one I wanted. I have it.
I just always try to get the voice actors that come in come like YC3 or Amicon or whatever. And there was one I went to when I was in Iowa. There was Des Moines Con, and they had Will Friedle there. So if you know Will Friedle, he was in I think he was in Boy Meets World. I knew him from Batman Beyond. So like I got him to sign the photo that said I'm Batman, and he tried talking state track with me, and I was like, I mean, you meet this like celebrity or whatever, and you're like, I mean, even though he's not much of a celebrity, but he was trying to talk sports with me, and I was like, okay, all right, yeah, I was just covering it, I was just taking pictures, no big deal, like I was trying to downplay it, and he wanted to talk to me about it, and I was like, okay, all right. But yeah, it is what it is. As far as you sound like a guy that goes to your fair share of cons and whatnot. Like what are
I've
some
gone
of
to too damn many.
what are some of your favorites that you've went to?
Oh man, definitely the one in Dallas that I was just talking about. That was the biggest one. I'm never gonna forget that. That was just a crazy 2 days because like we went to the big indie show and got to meet Jacob Patu before he got signed, and Nick Gage was there and a bunch of other people.
I got to meet Jacob as well.
He's so nice.
He's
so
a
nice.
great guy.
He's so humble.
Yeah, great guy. It was when Territory League came into Amarillo for a show. It was like
way back when.
Way back when. And he was there with the Count of California, which we got to know really well as Reno. And he was one of the guys that was behind Knox Pro, which was in the news for not so good circumstances recently.
Yes.
And we got to meet Rikishi, and I did a promo in front of Rikishi, and Rikishi was scrambling to get his phone out and like record me doing this promo. That was a really fun thing. They just all the Samoans were just losing it, and it was so funny. And they were like, Tyler, do it again.
I've met 2 Samoans. I met Jacob Fatu, and then I met Zilla. I don't know if you're familiar with Zilla, but he's out of Texas.
Okay.
He's real popular on the indies right now. They were just fun to talk to. They were so humble. Like it was a chill time. We were at the very end of the line and they waited on us.
Oh, that's cool.
And like they didn't rush us. Yeah, good fan service there.
Yeah.
Comic Cons.
What
So
are
the
some
Dallas
other,
one was fun.
Okay.
So I've only missed 2 in Amarillo.
Okay.
I didn't go to the most recent Amicon.
I didn't either.
And then when I was
Don't
in
feel
high
bad.
school, my family went on vacation, so I missed another Amicon. I've been to too many cons in Amarillo. Like I've been to all of them but 2. I go too often. It's bad.
They're fun to go to.
It's a good time. I spend too much money every time, man. Without
because you never know what you're gonna find. Like I think the last Amicon I was at, I might have found like some manga, and I think when I was there I found like Macross too. I'm big into Robotech and Macross. So like to give a little bit of context, like Macross is about like these jets that turn into robots to fight 50-foot people, like Attack of the 50-Foot Woman or whatever. Like it's just these giants, and like humans develops like these jets that turn into robots to fight them, and then to beat the aliens they use pop music. So they use like a J-pop star to like to beat the aliens, because they never dealt with culture before. So like they're like, what is this weird thing? What is this thing called music? Like, and so they got defeated by J-pop.
I've never heard of that before. It's Macross?
Macross. Yep, Macross.
That's certainly a new take on
the best way you can find it in North America is trying to find the first season of Robotech. There's just a little different terminology, but there's a little bit of different terminology, but the story is the same. So
interesting.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that one before. Yeah. That sounds crazy.
It is crazy. It is fun. It is so 80s. It's not even funny. One of my favorite series, a part of that is Macross Plus, and that's like Top Gun, basically in anime form.
Real quick, I went to, what was the last thing we probably just had? Oh, yep, YC3. And of course, when you go there, you mentioned you spend a lot of money. Well, what's silly is that some people come there and they mark up their prices, and then very few come there and actually lower their prices. So this past time I had a taste to get a Dungeons and Dragons shirt. I think I paid $30 for that. Something, I guess that's about standard price for a print shirt. Found a people who were selling a dice tower. It was made completely out of like shiny silver resin, and it was $50. But you can make it probably for about $8 worth of material. But the point is, I knew that going in. I'm like, no, I want this dice tower, so I'm gonna buy it. And how much is it? 50. Okay, done. Yeah, it just right off my back. I'm like, here you go. Here's your money. Yeah. And I think I bought a few more things for my family. And then after that, I'm like, boy, I'm glad I got this covered, because otherwise I go broke going to cons.
Oh,
so I understand it's expensive.
I can't imagine being a cosplayer going to cons and just.
Oh my God, they spend.
See, that's a whole other expensive con. Is if you like want to cosplay or have a costume, that's a whole separate expense.
Oh yeah.
I've never cosplayed, so I've saved a buck or two there. But that's insane. There's some real crazy ones. I'm sure y'all have seen some real crazy ones in Amarillo.
Oh yeah, people with full outfits with lights and effects and sounds and even dry ice smoke coming off of them. I've seen it all. And you go from spending the amount of a costume at Spirit Halloween for 30 to 40 bucks, then you go to thousands of dollars on these professional cosplayers that build these huge costumes, and it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, like I mean, even at Amicon, there was some really impressive ones. I think the last one I went to, this was a while ago. It was when Overwatch was a really big deal before it got really toxic, and they had a Reinhardt. Like this Reinhardt was like full sized. He was huge, and then during I think during Amicon, they always had I mean, there's the older fans, like you'll find a lot of older fans are Star Wars fans. Like you don't find any kids that are big Star Wars fans anymore. They're all into like Super Mario Brothers and stuff like that. But I remember like some of the older folks, they would do more of like a Legion for like the Empire or something like that. Or I think there was one that set up shop. Maybe they might be based out of Lubbock. I'm not completely sure, but that was always
Wasn't
neat.
there like a group of people and they were like Star Wars cosplayers / LARPers?
Yeah.
Oh, Legion.
Like that.
Legion something 501st?
Yeah,
Yes.
It's like 501st.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're talking about the same thing. We're talking about yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that's
I
always
used
interesting.
to think that looked really fun. I used to, not gonna lie. I wouldn't do
501st Legion, that's what they're called. Yeah, here out of town.
Yeah. That's those are always really interesting. Every now and then you'll see a really good Darth Vader.
My wife actually works with the gentleman who's the Darth Vader 501.
Oh, that's
she
cool.
did. I think he left a little while ago, but she worked with him. Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. Another one of my favorites was one year. It was this Deadpool show. Like, and everybody wants to be Deadpool, right? In the one year, like Deadpool was like Batman. He had like the little goofy kitty Batman mask and everything. He was
That's so fun. Hell yeah.
He was spoofing like the Christian Bale Batman. He's like, where are they? Who is the trigger? And then like I got a video of him, and and of course, I mean, I think I still have the video this day. And he's like, where are they? And I was like, are they looking for Chimichanga's Deadpool? Tell me where they are. It was really good. It was like a Deadpool dressed up as Christian Bale Batman, which was really good. Then you get your furries. Furries will show up.
Oh man, they're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
Man, they're everywhere.
There's like apparently a college quarterback now that identifies himself as a furry. I'll have to look that up. But there's like a college football quarterback that considers himself a furry. Like he probably wears like the suit and everything, maybe in his spare time, but yeah. As long as kids don't come up to me and they're like, "Hey, I need to have this dog bowl for me to drink," I'll be okay. Or they bring litter boxes with them. I mean, please.
They just put it on the sideline.
Yeah, just please don't take a poop in front of me.
I'm glad. Good God, I could have lived the rest of my life not hearing that out of your mouth.
Too late.
Since you bring up furries, somebody you and I both know, and maybe even you too, Miles. I'm not sure, but anyway, he is a very odd character, and social anxieties, things like that. Well, one day he's sitting there like wanting to share all these pictures with me off of Google. He's like, here, and so he shares it to my drive. Me being silly, I'm like, oh, okay. I cut paste it all over, and I go look at the stuff. Nothing but furry type of stuff and porn.
Oh no!
And I'm like, holy shit! I was like, what the hell did I just? I got a furry bomb. That's what happened.
Oh,
sparkled and glittered.
Did he send it to you on purpose?
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
He's
no.
like, here. He's like, here. And I just went, oh, okay. And I'm like, what the fuck did I just
Let me
walk
share
into?
my hobby with you, and it's all Rule 34.
Well, it came back to bite him in the ass because, he does that. I know he has that collection. He loves to sit there and show you all these stupid memes on his phone all the damn time. And some of this stuff surfaces. And I'm like, dude, you've got a furry obsession. You want to fuck these things. And he's like, no, I don't. No, of course, no, I don't. And I'm like, closet furry much? It just
Closet furry.
I'm like, give me a break. But I'm like, dude, I kid you not. I'll turn around and he says, oh, no, this thing about Sonic and Mario and these goofy stuffs about these big people hurting little people, blah, 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 vice versa. And then out of nowhere, more furry stuff. And I'm looking, I'm like, you really want to go there? Huh?
Here's my really weird theory, and hang with me on this. Okay, like the modern incarnation of the furries really started with like the gummy bears back in the 80s, and then it really went to a fever pitch with Sonic Saturday Morning. Like that might be before might be before anybody's time, maybe like during Ed and I's time, but during like the early 90s, probably about 93, 94, Sonic had pretty much a series cartoon that would air like on ABC on Saturday morning, and it was called Sonic Sat AM. And that is where, like, if you ever read or dived into the Archie Sonic comics, like way back in the day, that's where all those characters came from. And I think that's where it all started. And then I think it becomes a little more normalized nowadays because, when we were in college, Ed and I were in college, like we had the brony movement. Everybody loves My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. And yeah, I'm so glad that we're past that now.
There was a kid in my art class in middle school, and he was a brony.
Oh no.
Oh God. He'd always draw like the ponies, and yeah, it was a whole fucking thing.
Oh no.
Pardon my French. I don't know if I can cuss.
No, you can cuss in here. It's unfiltered. You're okay.
You absolutely can fucking cuss on here. It's okay.
Fuck yeah, let's get it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was it? When my son was in elementary, he the girls, for whatever reason, called him the magical unicorn, magical unicorn. Okay. And he smiled at it, it just because they were paying him attention, I guess. And so my son got older, and every once in a while we'll see a T-shirt with a unicorn on it. I say, hey, son. And he'll sit there and go, shut up, Dad.
Oh, that's funny.
It was cool when he was a little kid. The girls were paying attention. Now he's older. He's like too cool for it.
Please don't call me unicorn, Dad.
Yeah, don't, please.
Please don't. I'm not a unicorn.
Of course, that, some unicorns with the horn, you sit there and that leads into, are you horny? And he's you're allowed to tease him. So he looks at me, he's like, shut up, Dad.
Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, gosh. But yeah, like, some of the fandoms, like, since we're bringing up fandoms, what are some that are you're into, Miles? I mean, there's Pokemon, there's Yu-Gi-Oh. What are some fandoms that you're also like that, and you can get as weird as you like. I mean, it's unfiltered. And
I'm real into One Piece.
One Piece, okay.
I'm like 20 chapters behind on the manga, but I was caught up on One Piece for a minute.
Okay.
I really like true crime.
True crime.
And that's
nice.
kind of its own fandom. Like, those are fun. I like to stay up late in the middle of the night and like watch one.
Sure.
Right.
The true crime documentaries.
It's a guilty pleasure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Have you been watching Alien Earth lately?
No, but I want to. It's on the list. It's on the list.
A damn good show. Damn good. I'm enjoying the hell
I feel
out
like
of it.
the only one that's not watching it. But
well, catch up.
I'm trying. Okay, so speaking of One Piece, and like I'm always, it's such a long manga, and a just as long show, and all these characters, they all go through their own metamorphosis. But if I was just if I was just saying, okay, all right, today I am going to get into One Piece, where would you want me to start? Because like,
The very beginning.
oh no,
Very beginning. Okay, I'm
Damn.
gonna be honest. I have to get like 300 episodes deep before it gets really, really, really juicy.
Ugh.
Wow.
And that's where everything really starts to like kind of mesh together.
Yeah.
It's such a crazy like how the story's told is so nuts because it's very like interweaving. It's a lot like Star Wars and like the MCU, how it's like all kind of intertwines and like references itself, I guess.
Right.
It's kind of hard to explain, but I love it. The storytelling in One Piece, it's so good. It is so good.
It's because the mangaka, like, and he goes with things. He's like, man, you know what? That'd be really cool. So he weaves that into the story. Like he abides by the rule of cool. And I'm just a tourist. Like I'm not. I'm a some my favorite anime and manga are kind of obscure. Like mine is On My Goddess. Which
I've never heard of it.
okay, so On My Goddess is like it starts off as kind of like almost like a sitcom. Like it starts off with this college student, and he's a broke college student. He's a part of this motorcycle club, and he tries to make a, like, he's just like, all right, whatever, and he tries to make a call. He tries to make a phone call because he's trying to order takeout. And all of a sudden this goddess pops in through the mirror, and they like, he's in a state of shock like anybody else, like, oh my gosh, this really beautiful woman in my room or whatever. And she's like, okay, you are given one wish, and you can use that wish for anything, because it's like pure heart or whatever. So he tells her, he's like, well, I would like to have a goddess like you forever by my side. And then it's like she's a little shocked at first, but then when the contract is fulfilled, like it turns into a beam, shoots into the sky, and then okay, all done. And then they just go on all these misadventures together, and it's pretty romantic. It's very soft, and then towards the end it gets a little more action orientated, but really, really good. The mangaka behind that, he's behind like You're Under Arrest, which like has the meme of the girl like patting her head like that with her tongue out. He's big into motorcycles, so you see a lot of like vehicles and all in really stunning detail. I thought that was really neat. And then of course like Macross, like, and I mean nobody ever hears about Macross or Robotech anymore. Elfin Lied I was big into like way back in the day.
I want to read it. I've been told I need to read it, not watch it.
The manga is a lot better than the anime.
Cool. I'm still going to read it at some point.
Yeah.
Probably not even going to watch it.
The first scene of the anime, like it really like it jolts you, because like the first scene is just because it's an antagonist protagonist, and she's walking through this facility and just dismembering people left and right. So yeah, it's really like it's really kind of a shock value type thing, and then there's like more of a story beyond the anime, which in fact everything gets better, yeah, it was good. Let's see what other ones I was into. I mean, I was into Dragon Ball Z back in the day. I knew my Sailor Moon in and out, inside and out. Hard to believe that a sports ball guy is like, oh yeah, big Sailor Moon fan. But goodness gracious, the only recent ones I've really read recently, or I try to keep up with, is like One Punch Man and like Chainsaw Man, and that's it.
Chainsaw Man is so damn good.
And they're coming out with a movie.
Makes me so happy.
And they're coming out with a movie.
Good. I hope it's canon. I hope it picks up where season one left off.
It is, if I remember correctly, it is part of the canon. It is the Reze saga. It's where Denji meets the Bomb Devil, and the Bomb Devil takes in the form of this girl Reze, and they kind of form a little bit of a bond, like, and then it turns out, oh, she's kind of a bad guy. I have to fight her, So, yeah.
I think that's kind of where I left off in the manga, because I'm pretty far behind on Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
But I read the first 100 chapters when they came out, and then there was that.
Got you. Yeah, like
I love Chainsaw Man.
Yep, it's really good, and everybody likes everybody likes oh gosh, everybody either is like a Power fan. They love either Power, or they love gosh, what the crap is the other girl? The really manipulative one. I can't remember.
I want to say Maki, but that could be wrong.
Makima.
I know who you're talking about. Yes.
Makima.
Yes.
Yep. That's it. Yeah. She is something else.
I like Denji as a character.
Denji's a very good character.
I vibe with that. Like, that's pretty relatable.
The problem with Denji, though, is he is such a Murphy's Law character. Anything bad happens, something bad happens to him. Like, it's just like the story wants to break him.
I mean, you're not wrong. He goes through it all the time. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's kind of what makes him lovable, is like he goes through all this shit.
He's like the Chicago Cubs pre 2016.
Get laid and have friends and go to school.
Yep. That's it.
So is he kind of like the comedy relief? Is that what he is?
But no, he's taken seriously.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not even comedy relief. I think if I remember correctly, like the introduction to Denji is like this guy was trying to kill him for basically organs or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he was saved.
Dark series.
Yeah, it's a really good series. And then, I mean, One Punch Man is probably the one I've been into for a while.
I watched the first season. That's one I think I should read. I should read.
Yeah.
I prefer to read than I do to watch.
Yeah. I mean, you can watch the web. You can read the web comic, which they've translated and everything, but you have to go to secondary websites. I always prefer the manga, because the manga, like the guy that takes over and does all the manga work, because it originally started as a web comic and it's kind of crudely drawn, but the storytelling's really good. And then it got adapted into a manga, and the manga is like beautiful art, like everybody looks great, like, and then that was what inspired the first season. And then when you go into the second season, it's like, the art dropped off a little bit, but it wasn't made by Madhouse. It was made by another studio, so that's why you had to change of pace. But
nice.
Yeah.
What do you watch, Ed? What are you into? Are you into anime? I mean, kind of, because we used to play Dragon Ball.
Well, actually, you can play a card game and not be into the show. Although that's not to say that I don't like the characters. I've seen them here and there. I remember I haven't been to too many movies, but when Dragon Ball Super came out, the Brawly movie, Super Brawly, was that it? I went and saw that with my family, and let me tell you, there was this dude who showed up there in a group of a few people, and he must have taken his goddamn cologne and just poured it on himself.
Oh no.
We're sitting up on the top row, and he's halfway down, and just the whole entire time, like when you've got too much of that alcohol evaporation smell, that's all that was there the whole entire movie. You never even became nose blind to it. So I'm sitting there trying to watch this movie and be interested and be happy. Meanwhile, I'm dealing with that. My eyes are watering. I'm wanting to go down and drag the guy out by his hair, be like, go jump in a lake or something. And so that was that was that. I got to see the movie. I bought the movie digital so I could watch it again, of course, because of the idiot. And I remember when we were leaving the theater, this was at the United Artists, so you'd walk down from one side and there was an exit hallway, so you could just walk out to the parking lot instead of going all the way back down to the concession stand. And I remember we were all walking out, and we made that turn, and as we were, I said, "You really need to take a fucking bath." And I know I caught out of the corner of my eye, he spun around, and I'm like, good, he knows who I was talking about because it's only him.
Oh,
And I'm like, yeah, well, good. You stink. You smell like shit.
damn.
Um, I do remember I started watching the first few episodes of Dragon Ball all the way back in the beginning when he's sitting there peeing in the water, and I guess Bulma catches him and things like that. And that was fun. There was things that you could see that they didn't show in the American version, so it was really interesting to me because we've got this level of standard that says no type of content on TV for this kind of audience here. I guess they don't do that necessarily over in Japan, and so I was kind of watching that. But I don't really get into something unless I'm like really into it. Now, Phoenix Ace Attorney, I wouldn't consider that an anime, but they came out with a cartoon to match the video games, the first three. And I loved the hell out of that series. It was good. Watching the little boys have their friendship as they grew older, some of the backstory. Um, the prosecutor, Miles Edgeworth, dealing with his upbringing by his some guy he promised to take care of his kid after his parents died or something like that. Just a whole bunch of different elements of the story that I appreciated, but I don't know if everybody would. But no, I kind of watch what I watch. Here lately, it's been Invasion from Apple, Foundation from Apple TV, Alien Earth, love that show. And then what else have I been looking at? Star Trek Strange New Worlds, I get a kick out of that. The new series is going to be coming out. I guess they're kind of going to be back where they're fresh out of Starfleet or the Starfleet show. I'm looking forward to something like that. Tilly, I had a little crush on her. She's a sweet girl and fun to watch with her insecurities. And then what did they do to her when she was in the Discovery show? They had that ultraverse or ulterior, whatever it was, an ulterior place where they were coming from, and they had her all done up in makeup, her hair and everything. And I'm like, hey, she looks good. And so that's about it for shows at the moment I can think of.
I could not get into Star Trek. I tried.
Really?
I tried. I love Star Wars. Sci-fi is great. I just couldn't do Star Trek. I don't know what it was.
It's hard because if, like me, I loved a lot of the most recent shows, but then I go back and try to think about watching the stuff from the 70s with James Kirk, who's the actor, William Shatner, and I'm just like, I can't. It's a little too plain for me to sit there, given what they had to work with at the time. I'm like, no, I'm not interested. So it's hard to get into that.
Everybody tells me to stay away from the one with William Shatner. Everybody tells me to just stay very far away from it and don't watch it. I'm like, well,
So
I don't know. I'm sure the memes are there.
my take on Star Trek is if you want something that's kind of relatively contemporary and that has like some complexity to it, because the original series does come off as very white bread. Just because, they're just trying to fill out a TV show and whatnot. But Next Gen's a great place to start.
Yeah, that picked up really well.
Yeah, Next Gen's really good. It really starts getting good about the second season, if I remember correctly. It's essentially when Jonathan Frakes, William Riker, basically grows the beard.
Is that your start with them? Yeah,
that's basically where I go with. And then I would say if you want to pick and choose what Star Trek movies you want to watch, because Star Trek has so much stuff that it's okay to like pick and choose what you like. Where like in Star Wars, like Star Wars, I think the best part about Star Wars was the original trilogy. The prequel trilogy is starting to come around in circles because it was still a George Lucas thing. The sequels, people don't really accept the sequels. Some of the movies are hit and miss, like I think, what was it, Rogue One, that was really good.
I like Rogue One.
Yeah, Rogue One, The Mandalorian. First two seasons of The Mandalorian were really good. But as far as like Star Trek, you do. I think it was the one movie. I don't remember if it was 6 or 7, or maybe I don't know if it's 5 or something. It's the one where the original crew, they have like a Klingon ship and they have to go back in time.
That's 4.
Okay,
Voyage Home.
Oh, the Voyage Home. That's a good one. That's a really good one. That's probably one of my favorites. First Contact is another really good one. The J.J. Abrams ones, they don't age very well. Beyond is kind of a fun one. Beyond is actually really fun. If you turn your brain off, it's really fun. But usually if you want to get started in Star Trek, like Next Gen's the way to go.
If I had to start somewhere, I'd probably do Next Gen.
Yeah.
I used to wake up for school in the morning and my dad would just watch it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Anyways, what were you saying?
I was going to say, what's really, really funny is you didn't start hearing about this. And even though Enterprise technically takes place even before William Shatner's show, I always loved that T'Pol came on the show and they said that the Vulcan Science Directorate has determined that time travel is impossible. Because one of the main themes and recurring things going on through that series was that there was this guy jumping between time zones to come back and drop them hints about where to take things going in the show. And so you knew that they decided to put that in years later that, oh yeah, you can't time travel. Meanwhile, here we are watching The Voyage Home, Star Trek movie 4, and they slingshot around the sun and get back into, what was that, the 80s, I imagine.
Yeah, it was
late 70s, early 80s.
It was early 80s.
And they made it. They made it back 300 or 400 years to go get the humpback whales, and then they jumped travel again into the future. So I don't know when that thought stopped with the Vulcan Science Academy, but it'd be interesting to know when, because again, now you've got something that's canon that says that should have been impossible, even though we knew it was happening. You know, the Vulcans, they're always saying weird shit.
Yeah. And then humans always prove them wrong every single time, sometimes too.
Every single time. Every time. Vulcans are like,
they're space elves. They're space
judgy.
Elves.
They're
space
snobby
elves
as hell.
Yeah, they're space elves.
That's a hell of a take on Vulcans. I mean, yes. I mean, basically.
Yeah. Well, they got the pointy ears. That's profiling, Tyler. That's not okay.
Yeah, they're very judgmental. But what I would always tell people, I was like, they're space elves. They're just basically space elves. They just bleed green.
There you go.
Yeah.
They are not of this earth.
True that.
Damn.
Yeah. We're already at an hour 20. We're doing pretty good.
I'm having a great time just shooting the shit.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And that's what we're all about. That's what we're all about here. So I think before the show, we got into a really good discussion about comic book shops here.
We were talking about. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yes. We have quite a few. We have a handful.
You actually used to work at a video game store, right?
I worked at Recycled Entertainment for a couple months when I was in high school.
What was that like?
It was cool.
Yeah.
I really didn't do much there. Like, I kind of just organized carts. I'd help people, like, with shopping. I'd really just stand around and talk about, like, video games, Pokemon, Magic.
So you were dropped off in the middle of Mecca is what happened, right?
Basically, it was real chill. Like, it didn't ever seem like work. Like, I was there anyways on my off days, so it was just fun.
What's that old saying? If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
Absolutely. And it was chill. It was so chill.
Yeah.
And I remember that's kind of how you and I met. Was I think I was trying to complete some Dragon Ball Z card sets, which I never got those cards finished, or maybe it was Magic. I can't remember. And I remember I messaged somebody on Facebook or whatever, and you replied back, and you said that you were selling cards for someone else, and I think you were naming prices. I said, "Well, how about this?" And you went, "No way!" Like you flipped out, and I'm like, "Hey, dude, I'm just starting with a number. It's I think you knew it was worth significantly amount. Well, it wasn't that much more, but it was worth more. But I kind of gave a lower number as you do when you're negotiating. But yeah, you were like, "No."
I don't remember this, but I don't doubt that I was like, no.
Right.
Hard.
You're like, "No way." It was just great. Then we started talking, and then we're like, "Well, you want to be friends?" "Yeah, sure, okay." Then I've known you ever since. Known you for 2019.
So what like
That's six years, I think. 5 or 6.
if somebody were to visit the Texas Panhandle or West Texas, and we kind of know some of our comic book shops that hopefully are still around. Which ones would you recommend? That goes to both of you.
It just depends who you ask. Unknown's good.
They're gone.
Unknown's gone. I
They're
thought
gone.
they were over there on Osage.
They were, and I think he packed up and moved them out of there too.
No. That's where I like to go because they had like all the exclusives. Like
Right.
all the covers and stuff you needed. A2's really fun. But it's definitely more of like a card shop and Warhammer and stuff like that. But they're good. I've known all those guys for a hot minute. Also like Game Quest. Once again, to each their own, but I really enjoy Game Quest a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say Game Quest is like a smack dab like off of 6th Street, isn't it?
Yes, it's right on 6th Street.
In Georgia.
It's a real touristy area. It's real touristy.
Yeah.
They have the game store and their spray paint of like different video game characters and stuff like that. It's a fun place.
The one I really enjoyed was the Table's Edge. And
I miss the Table's Edge.
Me too.
That's kind of when I was coming into like card games in general. That's where I was playing at right at the beginning. Good times, man. Good times.
Yeah, and the owner of Table's Edge was actually also the owner of Unknown Comics, and I think he got grabbed up by a store here called Hastings, kind of a mixture of library stuff and comic book stuff, merchandise, different franchises. There was even a good coffee shop in there. That I remember that. And I think he got grabbed up by them to run their comics division. And so it was interesting how he made his way back because they made him sign a non-compete clause. But I don't know what condition got met to where he was able to then open up Unknown Comics. And he went more nationwide with that because he learned how to do things online rather than just trying to sell all his stuff here in town. So he got that going, and then I think he tried to take the business to Florida. Just he's had a lot of history here since what was it? He opened 2011 or something.
2012, somewhere like that, somewhere in there. But yeah.
Yeah, because he was running in a real small shop over there in the off of that little plaza on Georgia Street. You know what I'm talking about? Real small shop. Then he moved into a bigger location. He's just been growing ever since. So I don't know, but I'm looking at their website here. I don't see an address, but they're open. He's selling stuff, so I don't know where they're at.
So they might just be like online exclusive or something, possibly.
So I know he goes to lots of Comic Cons, but like
Absolutely.
New York Comic Cons and like he goes to big ones and like he does a lot with like the X-Men. He gets like lots of exclusives. Like he has a pretty cool little shop and like a cool little gig going. Like it's pretty sick.
Now it's saying here that he's still at 1200 Ross Street, Suite 500, but I'm not sure, and it doesn't say closed permanently. So maybe they are, but I thought that they kind of stopped doing the local thing and just took it all online. At least they don't sell stuff in store anymore. That I think is what's going on.
So like when I lived in Rapid City, there were actually two shops. So one was like right downtown, like historic downtown. That was the one I didn't go to a lot because it was mostly strictly comic books. The one I liked going to, it was kind of just outside of downtown, but it had figures, like they had comics, they had cards, and then they had like the old school retro toys, like there were still some from like the 90s, like still like it was like, oh man, like something that you'd find like at like a Target in the 90s or something. And that was a really cool shop. When I tried to go in there, I just tried to buy like one comic or something, like just to make it worth my stay. But like those were some cool places. I mean, I could look it up, but I just knew two right off the top of my head in Rapid City. And the only ones, the one that was really, really cool, there's one in Ames called Mayhem. And Mayhem it's got two levels, and it's got got a whole card section, got a whole side of the store where it's cards. Then there's towards the back, it's all graphic novels, and then towards the front is all kind of the newer titles, and then you go into the basement, and that's where you find all the bargain bin stuff. And I love to go into the basement, just finding like
that sounds like a good time.
It was Mayhem's really fun. It's probably one of my favorite comic book shops that are still going strong today. I bought a lot of manga from that place. I remember that.
Did y'all shop at Hastings when they were going out of business?
Yes.
I acted a fool. I bought so much stuff.
There was so much good stuff.
It was too good to pass up.
Right.
Yeah. I wish Hastings was still around, man. Like
something like it. Yeah.
I knew a guy that did graphics work for Hastings. I worked with him when I was the sports editor in Dumas. And he had a really good story. I know Ozzy Osbourne, he passed away not too long ago. But when he was doing graphics work for one of the latest Ozzy albums, and the problem was, like, Sharon Osbourne, right? From Sharon handles a lot of business for Ozzy. So not only is she his wife, is almost like his mom too, like just his mom, his manager or whatever. And
she took care of him.
Yeah, she took care of him. And she stuck with him through thick and thin. And the funny part with Sharon was she handled a lot of business for Ozzy. So when they submitted the first draft of like whatever they were planning to work on for Ozzy, Sharon shoots back, like she calls. And she lets this graphic designer know that Ozzy fucking hates green. Like, and green's one of Hastings' primary colors. So Shane had to go outside the box, and he made everything black. And they turned around and they loved it. But Ozzy fucking hates green.
You almost got her voice down there.
Yeah, just about.
I love Sharon.
I didn't know you could just hate like a color like that. Like he hates green.
Yeah.
I don't know. Green's pretty popular color, I guess.
Yeah, green. I mean, it was dark green. It wasn't like it was just like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles green where it'd stick out like a sore thumb. But he just hated green. Well, I mean, like I remember watching an episode of The Osbournes, like way, way, way back. And one of my favorite ones was like Ozzy, like there was like this Santa hanging on a cross, and Ozzy didn't like it because there were bubbles, and he's like, I'm the fucking Prince of Darkness. Why are we having bubbles? And It's like, I'm the fucking Prince of Darkness. Why are we having bubbles, Sharon? You know it. But I mean, the cool thing is his kids turned out okay. His kids turned out good. I mean, Sharon's doing her own thing, but you know,
And the third child never did show up on the show. That's for damn sure.
yeah, they kept it at 2, which was good. But yeah, Jack and Kelly, they were characters, and I think, you know, like, I remember when Kelly tried to do like a music career, and I mean, it didn't work out very well. But the first single she ever did was called "Shut Up."
Yeah.
It's called "Shut Up." And then, you know, Jack did his own thing too, but
what was that song? God. Baby don't something lyrics. Papa Don't Preach. That's what she sung.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
she did a cover of Papa Don't Preach.
She did a cover of that.
Yeah.
Of Papa Don't Preach, and then like her original single was called "Shut Up."
Right. Yeah. Yeah. She sounded good. Don't get me wrong. I just don't know if she could have maintained up the choreography and that kind of skill. I know it takes time to learn that.
And honestly, like, I mean, music takes like a lot of talent. Like,
oh yeah,
you know, not only do you have to know how to play an instrument, you have to know your music theory, and you have to know what your beats and your rhythms, and you have to know your chords. You know, when to move on to certain things, like your cues. I mean, music is really like, it's why when you hear really good music, like, it's good.
Yeah.
Depends
on how deep you want to go.
Yeah.
You got a musical bone in your body there, Miles?
I'm not like a singer. I don't play instruments, but I like music. I like all kinds of music, honestly. I don't have like one genre that I just like listen to all the time, but I like all kinds of things. I like pop punk a lot, like Blink-182.
Oh, Blink-182.
Kind of heavy metal. I like some rap, some country. I really just like everything. I don't know. Music's art, and art's cool.
Yeah,
right.
Art is really cool. Art can take many forms. I was figuring, you know, since you did with the stoner / hippie, there's always the Doobie Brothers, man. I love the Doobie Brothers. Doobie Brothers are a guilty pleasure.
I like the Doobie Brothers.
Like, listen to the music.
Water a lot. That's been my shit lately.
Yeah, CCR. CCR is good.
Yes.
They got their one song that's like in every single war movie.
Fortunate Son. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
But Bad Moon Rising is awesome. Like, that would be really cool.
That's what I use when I can use copyrighted music.
There you go.
When I can use copyrighted music, that's my song. It's Bad Moon.
And then there's Running Through the Jungle. That's another really good one. A lot of Vietnam inspired type of music, but like Down on the Corner, I think that one's a little more tame. That one's pretty good.
That's such a fun song.
It is.
I'm gonna have it.
It's very fun.
Down in the street.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Down on the Corner, Down on the Street.
Do you like Pink Floyd?
I haven't listened to him too much.
Okay.
Really? Yeah, space rock, I think, is their main genre. If you want to start anywhere, I'd start with Dark Side of the Moon. That's a good album.
Yeah, that's probably one of their best albums.
Yeah,
that the one with like the triangle and then like the colors going through it.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to listen to that just so I'll be cultured.
There you go.
Right. It'll only take you 35 minutes, I guess.
It's kind of crazy. It's real popular, but like I've never listened to it before. I kind of don't know why. But
just got to get around to it. We got so many things to choose from these days, so many distractions, so many interests, and it's hard to make time for every single thing that's out there. But you know, if you just open up a little window and say, "Okay, I'm going to do this right now, no question." And sometimes it works, and sometimes you're like, "Nah, I'll be in the mood later."
I mean, you can never go wrong with like Led Zeppelin either. Led Zeppelin's really good.
No, of course not.
Stairway to Heaven.
Going to California, I love that song.
Yeah. And then old school Eagles, the Eagles.
Eagles are fun.
The Eagles
No,
are
I've never
fun.
been a fan of any of their stuff. I don't
Not
know
even
why.
Hotel California?
Dude, I listened to that song maybe 50 times a freaking year because every radio station play, especially our one here, they said they go, oh, we don't have a repeat during work hours. The hell you don't. You guys play some stuff over and over again.
I
So
think
I've
one
heard
of
that
their
song
I think
all
one
the
of their
time.
better I think one of their better one of their more underrated songs is from the 90s is coming called from an album called Hell Freezes Over.
I'm familiar with that. Wasn't that
And
Joe Walters album?
yeah, and the major single is called Get Over It. That one's a pretty
Right.
good one.
Maybe I ought to give that a shot.
Yeah, Get Over It. Yeah, Get Over It. And then there's always, and then there's always like Van Halen.
Van Halen's good.
Van
I like
Halen.
Van Halen.
Yeah, just depends on whether you like
AC/DC.
David Lee Roth or you like Sammy Hagar.
California Girls. I love it when he did it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Man.
Although Katy Perry's kind of wrapped up in her own little world now, which is kind of crazy.
She is her own little world. Let's not mix words.
Yeah.
What's the Katy Perry lore? I haven't heard the lore on Katy Perry lately.
Oh, the latest thing that she did was she went up on that SpaceX, or not SpaceX, but it was Blue Origin.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about that. It was just like a bunch of women just spent money to go on like a spaceship or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she was like, I feel like I'm as if I'm one with the earth. And like she brings like a little flower with her, and she is just like, it's a bummer, man. Like, because
And then she hit the ground when she came home or something like that. Wasn't that her?
Yeah, she was just
Such a drama queen. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, just Hollywood and the music industry, man, they chew you up and they spit you right back on out, because and then you're never the same. Because she started off as like a Christian artist. Like she was she'd do like a lot of gospel and everything, and then when she got spotted by the music industry, it's like, oh, we're gonna make you in this mega pop star. And then
yeah, she's definitely not. Her music now definitely does not give me Christian vibes.
Well, like early Katy Perry.
Or her outfits.
Yeah, her outfits were. Yeah.
Was she the one with like the rockets or the sparklers on her tits?
Yeah.
That's someone else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was her.
Is that Firework? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she looked pretty damn hot in Dark Horse. Boy, let me tell you. Her is a female pharaoh queen. I'm like, damn. Yeah.
Yeah. Man. All before auto-tune really hit everything.
Speaking of auto-tune, I know Katie doesn't use it, but I've seen the clip tons of times on Instagram where she tells some girl to sing her song. She's like, yeah, sing Firework. And the girl starts singing Firework. She does it better than Katie.
Oh, there
so
you go.
When the girl finishes, I think Katie takes a notepad or a pen or something. She just like throws it at her, not at her, but at the floor, like, eh. And I'm like, well, you told her to do it. What do you get mad about?
Yeah, exactly. Oh.
I'm like, Katie, there's always room for improvement. It's okay, sweetheart.
Yeah, there's always time for a comeback, I suppose.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
She's gonna grow her hair out first and dye it back.
Yeah, she kind of. That always happens with celebrities. They always have a dork age. They.
Well, she pulled a Miley Cyrus, as far as I'm concerned. She like shaves her head, and then,
Yeah. There's okay. So like, this kind of involves wrestling a little bit. So like, Miley Cyrus, like at one point, like had connections with Jeff Jarrett.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
I never heard this before.
Yeah. So
Very intrigued by that statement.
Yeah. So I think what was it? I think like Jarrett used to like maybe babysit her, or was friends with Billy Ray, her dad, the guy behind Achy Breaky Heart. Okay, like I think they knew each other because I think they were both in Nashville at the time, and that's how like Jeff Jarrett got to know Miley, and I guess like babysitted her a few times. So yeah, I think that's the gist of it. I'd have to double check, but
That's crazy.
Small
Could you
world.
imagine if like the time traveler like moved a chair and like she became a wrestler?
Could have.
It'd be insane.
She could have.
That'd be insane.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, in a different timeline.
In an alternate universe, yeah. So like that would be interesting because she would be gaining steam right at the same time as like right at like if she was in like wrestling, and I'm just playing conjecture here. Like if she was in an alternate timeline and she was like trained by Jeff Jarrett, or she was trained in Memphis or something, or or because of her connections with her dad and everything, she ended up like an OVW, or she ended up in developmental because they could afford it. It wasn't like Billy Ray was without money, but it would have been interesting because she would have came up probably about the same time as like Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks, and towards the end of it, she
has the stage presence.
She does. Now the problem is like would she be technical enough to be competent?
See, that's another thing I was gonna say, because having stage presence and like being able to talk and stuff, and then like being able to work in the ring, two different things.
It is.
Two different things.
It is.
Can you expand on that? What does that mean?
So like
for you, for example, what have you learned?
What's the best way to put this? Like, so just for me, I feel like promos and like the talking part, and then like the gimmick or like the clothes or whatever you wear to the ring is one thing, but the ability in the ring, I feel like those are two different things. Like the ring work, learning how to do different things in the ring, stuff like that, just two different.
Right.
Let me enhance that. Let me enhance that for you.
For you guys, it all falls under performance. I know that, but to you, it's so is one harder than the other?
I feel like it's all hard. I feel like wrestling's it's not an easy thing to do, otherwise everybody would do it. Which right. I mean, that's a pretty cliche thing to say about like anything.
But it's the truth. It's the truth. Right. But let me
hard for me, I guess. That's like the harder one. Because right. I don't know. I wasn't ever like I wasn't ever in like sports in school or anything like that. So
you learn how to be more physical through the sport. Yeah.
A little bit, yes.
Cool.
Can I enhance your answer a little bit? So like,
please, you might be able to help me explain that better.
Okay, so if you're playing like let's say WWE 2K whatever. Or maybe better yet, if anybody's a big fan of like the SmackDown games, like I love the SmackDown games, by the way. Here Comes the Pain, one of my favorites. There is like a charisma bar, like you can have like the strength and you can have the agility and everything, but if you sacrifice those points to like let's say like you want to make yourself like really super strong, really super tough or whatever, but it comes at the expense of your charisma, then like nobody charisma is a big thing. A presence is another, like being able to talk and make it just seem like it's your natural environment is one. I don't know. I may be giving mixed signals here, but I think of it like the charisma bar. Like if you have your charisma really low, like then it's like, okay, well, he can't really talk, or he doesn't have much of a presence. He's just a guy with like, he's just like Dean Malenko. He goes out there, he puts on a great match, but Dean Malenko can talk if you let him talk a little bit, but he's not known for talking. Where like on the other hand, like The Rock doesn't have the great, like he's not going to give you like He's not going to go up against like Kenta Kobashi and give you a 5-star match in the Tokyo Dome, but he can
That would have
talk.
been insane.
Yeah, he shit talks really good.
But the promos leading up to that match between him and Kenta Kobashi would be really good. Like,
yeah.
I'd pay money to watch that.
I would pay money to watch that maybe like 15 years ago, because like Kobashi has since been out of pro wrestling. He's retired, but man, that Kenta Kobashi, he's so freaking cool. Like he doesn't use his burning hammer too much. He used the burning lariat, and he makes like a clothesline look really good. And then his burning hammer, and then if he really wants to go ultra instinct on you, he does the cross arm burning hammer, and it's really, oh man, it's so good.
Who was his big opponent? I was watching him, Masawa.
Misawa was great. I love Misawa.
I'm going to take the opportunity. I think this is going to be the hardest question I ask you during our visit.
Shoot.
Is as Miles' journey and the things you've gone through to get to where you are, and then thinking about the psyche that you're in. What have you really, really learned about yourself becoming this up and coming talent?
Man, that's a good question. I've learned a lot. Like, when you start wrestling or tell people you're going to wrestle, on paper, everybody thinks that you're just going to learn that.
Right.
But you just learn so much more than that. Like, I don't know. I feel like, what's the best way to say this? It kind of showed me, because I've been wanting to do this for like my whole life, and I'm 25 next week, so I kind of got a late start, but it is what it is. But it kind of just showed me like I'm kind of capable of more than what I think I'm capable of, if that makes sense. Like I can do more than like what I think I can do. Which, you know, like I was awful when I first started. I was worse than I am now. But over time, I got a little better. And then like the small victories or whatever, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I'm going to give you more of like an answer than that. But I've learned a lot. I learned a lot through wrestling.
Good. And again, yourself, you've learned, because as Miles' journey, you know, obviously you've got your ideals, your beliefs, your all that. Has that all kind of come more into focus for you in the past year?
What do you mean by that? Like,
well, as a wrestler, you know, I'm not sure. You grew up somewhere. You've worked your life. You went to school. You had friends. You've developed all these things, and then you step into this career where you are stage presence, performing, wrestling. You're presenting yourself to the world. And so I guess what I'm getting at is, you know, how has all that shaped who you are today?
Okay. That's a really good question. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like made me like a little bit more like confident, I guess, because I feel like I'm not like as quiet as I once was. Like I'm just a little bit more.
Right.
I wouldn't say I'm like center of attention or anything crazy, but you know, I'm not like
right
incredibly timid or anything like I might have been when I was younger.
I think probably probably to really help you out is, you know, what's the biggest thing you've learned from when you started to today?
If you want something bad enough, you can get it. You can definitely do it. You're going to have to work your ass off 9 times out of 10, but if you want something bad enough, you can definitely make that a reality.
I hear
this
that.
time, a year and a month ago, I didn't think I was ever going to wrestle. I used to call it a dead dream. Like, oh yeah, that wrestling thing, just a dead dream. Whatever, but then one thing led to another, and like, here we are. Like, I'm doing it. I'm doing big things. I was in Legoland yesterday. That was fun. We have that big show in Lubbock next week. South Plains the week after that. And even if I'm not booked on these shows, I still go, still help out.
There you go.
It just makes me happy. It's like I just want to be there and just do it.
That's awesome.
That's how you get your foot in the door too.
Like, absolutely. I try and do the things that, you know, wrestlers are supposed to do to get ahead, I guess.
Right.
Way of putting it. But
yeah. It's what we all call paying our dues.
Paying
right.
our dues.
You get out what you put back in, absolutely.
Yes.
Well, that's definitely a good answer.
Yep. Well, there's no right or wrong answers really. It's really based on experience.
Right.
But yeah, I think we're just about hitting the 2-hour mark. A little less than 10 minutes. So why don't we do a little plugging? Miles, do you have anywhere people can find you, like if they want to follow you or anything?
I am Miles Journey on Facebook, and then I'm at the Miles Journey on like all social medias. I have a link tree on my Facebook. The link tree is like I put it everywhere, but it's like I'm on all the social medias. I will be at the Pro Wrestling 101 Invitational at, where is it? Mono Negro Brewing Company, October 11th in Lubbock, Texas. I'm real excited for that. I got attacked by Baby Samoa yesterday. I was scheduled for a match against Marcus MD. Mm-hmm. However, on my way to the ring, I was attacked and assaulted by Baby Samoa.
Oh.
So on October 11th, I'm gonna get my get back on Baby Samoa.
Good.
He's kind of a slippery guy, isn't he? He likes to come up from behind and beat people up. Didn't he do that with Brian Rage?
That's what he did to Brian Rage at the last. He locked him in the training facility.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Brian Rage got out. He made it for the show.
Yeah.
He did. I love Brian Rage, by the way. I got a story about Brian Rage, but we'll save it for another time.
He's such a great coach. I've been going to I train at Pro Wrestling 101, and if anybody watching this is trying to be a pro wrestler and you're in the area, please go to Pro Wrestling 101. It is such a great school. Everybody's incredibly patient, super welcoming. They have everything you need to like learn pro wrestling safely.
Right.
For you to learn this craft safely, it's great. It's like a big like family, basically.
Yeah,
it's a great place.
It's a brotherhood, and that's the fun part with Lubbock Wrestling 101. Maybe go ahead, Ed.
I was going to say, if I could, real quick. Of course, we're honored that you decided to spend a couple hours with us, and thank you for being here. And when you go see your nemesis next month, give them one for us, will you?
Absolutely. Thank y'all so much for having me on the show. Like, this was like, I was looking forward to this all week. Like, this was like the highlight of my week. It's like, yeah, can't wait until Sunday.
Well, I mean, having you on, it's the highlight of our week, man. It's fun. Absolutely. It's fun.
I appreciate y'all.
I love having folks that are, from Rick that has spent 4 decades involved in pro wrestling in some form or fashion to, just basically a fan that's like, hey, I'm going to pursue this dream. I'm going to make it a reality. And then now you're a year and a month into it. You're 13 months in and you still got plenty of mileage to go.
Absolutely. I don't know. I definitely feel like I'm doing it now. It's like I'm kind of doing the pro wrestler thing and it's fun.
Yeah.
It makes me happy.
I will say is one parting deal, like one parting gift of advice, and it's not even bad, is never be discouraged. No. It's much different now than it was when I was training, where like you could get politicked really easy out of it, and you can be discouraged really fast, and you could be like, oh man, what if I break my neck like doing this, or if I fall wrong, like I turn into an accordion and I have to, be wheelchair bound. Just, you have to take that risk. Just don't be discouraged. So that's my greatest piece of advice I can give anybody, because you never know. I mean, you can go from, if you're happy being, somebody who just goes out and wrestles and has fun every weekend, to, really taking it to the next level. It's the sky's the limit. It's just, how much are you be willing to put in for it? So, but
Absolutely.
yeah.
Thank you so much, Tyler.
You betcha. I'm gonna do one more plug. Squared Circle Pro birth anniversary is this weekend. The doors open at 5:30. The bell time is at 6. You will see both Ed and I, maybe Sweeze. We'll see about Sweeze. We'll see. We'll see if we see him. I mean, if he shows up, he shows up. But come over to our booth and see us. We got pins. We got business cards. Ed painstakingly ordered those pens and business cards, so
it made some.
Yeah, it made some of those business cards, and some blood sweat, maybe a tear or two. But during intermission, man, come over and see us. We don't bite. We're very
hard.
Yeah, hard. I mean, I will be up like in the commentary booth, but during intermission, come on up. I mean, even after the show, come on up and talk to me. I know we got some things planned. After, I think the day after, I think I'm going to be really nice and give Ed the day off. Yeah, and
it'd be a late night, Ed. It's your first indie show. Like they kind of go a long time. You have to drive 2 hours back.
They do.
Right. Yeah.
Late night.
It's a full day.
You're gonna enjoy yourself, but it's gonna be a late day.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I set my own curfew.
Yeah. There you go.
Right on.
But at the same time, we'll this will be where I can make that final announcement. It counts. It's a span of 7 days. We will have our kind of a special edition of Unfiltered called SCP Hangover. I basically talk about the show. We do kind of a quick recap, and I kind of watch snippets of the show alongside you. Can't watch the entire show. You just have to check out TJ Mundell on Facebook, or not Facebook, but YouTube. He's also on YouTube. But yeah, like until then, we're looking forward to seeing y'all at the show, and it'll be a fun one. It is 3 hours of 3 hours of in your face action, and just like Ed, who will oh gosh, what's a good way to say it without being too not safe for work? He's basically gonna pop his independent pro wrestling cherry. So
good. It's about time.
It's about time.
What do you do this day, Ed?
I'm just here to hand out pins and business cards. Okay, no.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You never know who's going to show up at SCP.
Exactly.
Miles' Journey's always ready, and he has his gear. So.
Yep. He's a nomad. He's a nomad wrestler. He will travel. Okay. All right. Well, until next time, I'm just going to quote our good friend Thuglis of the show. Be good, be cool, be chill. I think that's the words. Douglas may have to correct me later, but thank you all for joining us. Miles Journey, thank you so much for being here with us for the show. You're welcome back.
Thank you for having me once again.
Yeah, you bet.
It was a good time. Good way to spend a Sunday.
Absolutely.
Good.
Okay. All right. Well, I am going to turn on the music, and we are going to rock and roll. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of the weekend, and we'll see y'all Saturday. Any other really fun thoughts before we go?
Thanks for watching.
All right. See y'all soon.
Bye.